All right, welcome to the shop, my friends. We have got big news in the bike industry this week that it's not surprising, but it's somewhat shocking with the announcement that GT Bikes will be slowly phasing out. The company that currently owns GT Bikes will be phasing out, selling out the inventory over the next year, and then discontinuing the GT brand. So what does this mean? What does this mean for all of us? So GT, I went to their website. There's really nothing listed on their website. GT has an awesome history that has spanned several years. It was started by Gary Turner in 1972 and has continued for quite a while. It was very much a BMX brand that me as a kid, like little Rob, I grew up adoring GT bikes. I wanted a BMX bike really bad when I was in elementary school and really wanted to be a BMX rider. They're just awesome, awesome bikes. In the 90s, they started making really cool mountain bikes, which I'm really into. As you guys all know, I'm a big mountain biker and I love and adore mountain bikes from the 90s. I've done several restorations on GT bikes over the last several years, and some of my favorites and some of your favorites are those videos. There's almost, well, not almost, there is a cult following on GT bikes. The pinnacles of those being the Zhejiang and the Zaskars and the Cyclones, two of which I have. I still need a Zhejiang, but yeah, they're just sweet bikes. And actually, because of this recent news, just like when an artist dies, their artwork becomes more valuable. So with this announcement, there's a lot of people kind of freaking out, especially in the BMX world. GT is very much a BMX bike brand, and if you want to restore, so I did a restoration of a GT BMX bike from the late 80s, and finding parts, like GT branded parts, was difficult. The original cranks that would have been on that Mach 1 that I did, those themselves, I think were worth more than the whole bike, just to find the cranks. And GT's been making a lot of these cranks still, and they're expensive for just the new GT branded cranks. And now with the brand being discontinued, ending production of a lot of those custom GT stamped products like stems and handlebars and cranks and tires, all of these different things, it's really going to impact the BMX industry. And I predict that it will, if you have some BMX GT product, parts and bikes, I believe those are going to go up in value. Now bikes, mountain bikes, the bikes that I'm typically interested in, I'm not sure, because we're looking still at retro bikes themselves. But I do suspect that they will become more of a rare bike brand if GT really is discontinued. There's a part of me that thinks it might go the same route as what Kona bikes went. Kona bikes had been bought out by larger companies over a few years, and then the latest one, they had announced that they were going to close earlier this year due to the downturn or the difficulties that the bike industry is facing right now. And then news came out that the original founders of Kona were going to purchase the brand and continue on with it. If something like that happened with GT, I know a lot of people would be excited. Otherwise, it's going to go the way of some of those cycling brands that we don't see anymore, like Klein, like Bontrager, although Bontrager has continued as a parts brand under Trek, but Bontrager bikes were just awesome. Klein bikes were awesome. all bikes that have been killed by Trek. Le Mans bikes. I'm just looking in my shop right now. There are bike brands out there that just don't exist anymore. And for GT to go that way would be really sad. So I wanted to just talk about this a little bit. I mean, the history of GT bikes, really the pinnacle for GT for me was 80s for BMX bikes, 90s for, I know 90s BMX continued too, but in the 90s, we had some awesome, like the LTS and the Zaskars, the carbon fiber, the aluminum bikes, the steel bikes, the Cyclones. All of those were just epic in the 90s. Truthfully, I lost a little bit of interest as we went into the 2000s, which maybe is some of where it was getting sold out and changes. But the GTs over the years, especially those 90s years, for you mountain bike enthusiasts, was an epic time. Now, how did I hear about this? There was actually, I started seeing posts about it on social media on Wednesday or Thursday, and folks started making videos about it. Pink Bike had an article about it on the 19th of December, just talking about the layoffs, the things that are happening there. There was also an article in Bicycle Retailer talking about it, GT bicycles pausing new production, new product releases, and reducing workforce. All of these things, there's people that saw the writing on the wall a little bit. Maybe the video that hit me the most was Skills with Phil, who's another YouTuber that I've watched for a long time. Phil's been sponsored for a long time by GT, and so this hits him probably hard. There's a lot of YouTubers, though, that have been dropped from their bike sponsors because of the current state of bikes. It's all kind of a rebound up and down because of COVID. First COVID, people canceling orders, then realizing everyone wants bikes when they can't go anywhere, and then kind of this bike boom during those initial years of COVID, prices just skyrocketing, and then because of saturation and the high prices, just this kind of reduction in interest. Now, like I said, I actually think that this will be interesting for the vintage bike world, those of you that like to build up these custom bikes. I think in some ways it'll make those GT bikes a little more rare, but I am hoping that the industry gets picked up along the way. So as part of this announcement, I wanted to just kind of share with you my thoughts, which is this video, but I'm releasing simultaneous with this video a compilation video of the eight GT bike restorations I've done over the years on my YouTube channel. Everywhere from my first one, which was a blacked out GT Ricochet from 1994, to my most recent GT Tequesta that I picked up for 25 bucks at a thrift store. And then later, my intent at the beginning for that one was to donate it to the Bicycle Collective when I was done, but it was so beautiful. I hung on to it for a while, but it has now since been donated to the Bicycle Collective. So check out that compilation video. I'm going to be releasing it simultaneous with this one, with a brief intro in the front. It'll be a Sunday morning release, so you can have your Old Shovel Church meeting and watch 3 hours of Old Shovel bike restorations if you want. I'm going to index that video actually with all 8 videos so you can kind of hop through your favorite ones. It's a great way to test out the algorithms also on YouTube and see what they think of these compilations. I've been seeing other folks do some of them, and I'm curious how they do. But that's beside the point. Sad news for GT. Thank you all for watching. As always, look for opportunities to give those old things new life. Like and subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are on GT, and I'll see you on the next video. Ciao.